Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the annual Copycat Challenge Week, the 20th to the 24th of June. My name's Abigail Demore. I'm the director of Every Copy Counts, and Every Copy Counts is a new initiative to help schools to make the most of the school's printed music licence. So this week is all about celebrating the brilliant work that you all do in your schools with music, but also an opportunity to share that back with the music publishing industry so that we can make sure that the right creators are being paid. So what I'm going to do this afternoon is just tell you a little bit about the Challenge Week and what's in it for you. And then I'm going to spend a bit of time talking through the general Every Copy Counts campaign and the school's printed music licence. So feel free to grab a drink, sit back, listen, and if you have any comments, please do put them in the chat. Delighted to have you all with us this afternoon. So during this week, we have some fantastic events happening, which we'd love to have you all with us for. Today at 5 o'clock, we have got the incredible Janetta Hurst, who is a secondary school music teacher, who is going to be working with another colleague, Ben Mullen, on presenting a teacher exchange session. So this is an opportunity for primary school teachers, secondary school teachers to come along and in a very informal setting, share ideas and best practice around composing, songwriting, other ideas for the classroom. It's a really great space to come along and share. Tomorrow at 4 o'clock, we have the absolutely fantastic Howard Goodall, who has done an interview again with Janetta Hurst. It's a really great short 30-minute interview that you can share with your students. It will be being broadcast to YouTube at 4 o'clock tomorrow, but you'll be able to watch it again and access it afterwards. Some really great tips in there for composing, some brilliant inspiration. On Wednesday, we have a group of publishers from the music and the print publishing industry in a panel. And they're going to be talking to me about what's involved in the music publishing industry and how students might like to get involved. They're also going to be talking about the importance of copyright. So that's a real opportunity to come along and ask any questions that you might have to the publishers. Thursday, we have another viewing of Howard's film, and then in the afternoon we have another Q&A again with Janetta Hurst with Michael Price, who's an absolutely wonderful film and TV composer, and he is going to be sharing again his tips for composition for students. There are some really interesting tips and techniques in Michael's interview. It's really worth again accessing that for students. And then on Friday, it's the last chance for you to get in your sheet music data, and the Every Copy Counts team, including myself, are going to be online if you want to drop in, ask us any questions, if you need any help. So the aim of this week really is to try and encourage as many schools as possible to enter data on what you've been copying and arranging in your schools. Closing date is Friday at 2 o'clock. So we would be really happy if you were able to enter your data. By doing that this week, we have some absolutely wonderful prizes courtesy of some of the publishers. So big thanks to the Music Publishers Association, to Hal Leonard and Faber. And we also have a membership to Musical Futures. So thank you to Musical Futures for that. The first 10 schools who submit data this week have the opportunity to win a USB microphone. Everybody will get a discount to sheetmusic.com, and then everybody else will be entered into a prize draw to win some really fantastic prizes, including a ticket to the Ivor Novello Awards, which is the exclusive awards for composers and songwriters that happen every year. So next year, a teacher will have the opportunity to go to that. So please do consider putting your data in this week for a chance to win some of those prizes. We're also really delighted that this week on our teacher studio portal, so when schools put data in, they then get access to this wonderful set of resources, to be launching a new arrangement that we've had created exclusively for Every Copy Counts by Bobby Jane Gardner and Jeff Hannon, two wonderful arrangers. This is a mixed ensemble arrangement of Coleridge Taylor's Waltz de la Rime from 4 characteristic waltzes. And Bobby and Jeff have worked really hard to put together something that's suitable for intermediate level students. So it's a mixed ensemble that you can take, you can use with your ensembles, with your classes. All of the parts are there, as well as the full score and an MP3 of the score. So we really hope that that's something that will be of benefit to schools. And it's just one of many ways that we're thanking teachers for uploading their data to our portal. So on to talking about the school's printed music licence and what this is. So the school's printed music licence has been around for quite some time now, and it was created by the Printed Music Licensing Limited Company, who are a group of music and print publishers who really wanted to enable schools to have access to printed music, with the recognition that photocopying is a really common practice. So it was created, it's funded in England, Northern Ireland and Scotland by the government education departments. And in Wales and for independent schools, schools can access copies of the licence individually. So this is a licence that all schools have access to, many schools for free. It's a really good thing. It means that you can sort of really open up the world of printed music to your students. However, as part of the licence, one of the terms of the licence is that schools should be sharing data on what they're copying, what they're arranging, at least once per year. And the reason for this, the reason why this is important, is so that we can make sure that royalties are distributed out to the right composers and songwriters. At the moment, that hasn't been happening to the breadth that we would like. So it means that at the moment the distribution system of royalties isn't completely fair out to composers and songwriters. And certainly as someone who's really passionate about fairness and making sure that people are rewarded for their work, I'm really keen that we as a group of music educators really try and support that system. So every copy counts has a couple of aims, number of aims. One is that we let schools know, we let you know about what the licence enables you to do, what you can do, how it can benefit you and your students, and also how you can access all of our sort of free resources by entering data. We also want to increase the quality and the quantity of data that's available so that we can move towards this fairer distribution system. And then we're also keen to celebrate the craft of songwriting, the craft of composing, really important for so many young people, and also raise awareness a bit about the music publishing industry, what it does, how young people might be able to access it, and just start to build those bridges between the music publishing industry and the music education industry. I myself am from the music education background, and it's been a real pleasure to be able to work across the sector, working with music educators, but also working with music publishing industry experts as well, and to see how collectively we all really, really believe in the power of music. And this is another way that we can celebrate why music is so important in schools for children and young people. So in terms of the mechanics of the school's printed music licence, like I say, you automatically have one if you're a state school. There are various things that you can do under the terms of this licence. So you can make photocopies and scans of printed music, whether that is a hard copy or digital. You can arrange music. You can make notations on music. And you can also upload scans of music and project music. So again, sort of projecting onto whiteboards is considered an act of copying. So that's something that would fall under the terms of this licence that you're allowed to do, but that should be being reported on. In terms of what a copying act is, obviously traditionally photocopying has been a hard copy onto a photocopier, and then a copy comes out the other end. That is very much covered under this licence, but also increasingly we recognise that schools are using digital means. So downloading sheet music and making copies of that is considered as a copying act. Again, projecting onto whiteboards, taking a digital copy and putting it onto a number of different devices, whether that's iPads or other computers, that's considered as a copying event. There are various things that this license covers. The proviso is that at some point you own an original copy of the work. This isn't intended to completely replace the purchase of music. So at some point, you have a book, or you have purchased an individual piece of music from a website. Anybody who works for the school can copy, whether that's a music teacher, whether it's a visiting teacher, whether it's an administrator, as long as it's for use by the students of that school and that it's happening on the school premises. Although students can take their copies home, that's allowed. There are some restrictions, so only 10% of items in anthologies or large vocal schools can be copied. There are a fairly small number of exclusions. So on the PMLL website, there's a list of all of the pieces of music that aren't able to be copied, but they're very small in number. Generally, the whole vast repertoire of printed music is covered under this license. With arranging, the purpose of including arranging in this license is to let you as teachers be able to make practical adjustments to music to suit the needs of your students. So for example, if you need to arrange a piece of music for a certain set of instruments that you have available, or for the abilities of your students, that's all absolutely fine. What this license doesn't let you do, though, is change the fundamental character of the work. And you're also not supposed to share arrangements beyond your school. So there, included in the license, it explains what you can and can't do with arranging. And the idea is that you are only making as many copies as the number of pupils that you have in your classes, in your schools. So if you are copying music, if you are arranging music, you do need to share data on what you're doing. And this is really important, as I've said, to comply with the terms of the license, but also to make sure that the music creators are being fairly paid. So this process now has been made streamlined, made a lot simpler for schools. So there is an online portal that has been created by the PMLL. So all that you need to do is create a school's account on the portal, and you can then log your data whenever you like. We'd like to encourage that that's once a year, which are the terms of the license. However, the way that the portal's set up means you can actually do that at any point during the year, and you can do little and often, or you can save everything up and do it all at once. As a team, every copy counts. We've created some ways to help you collect your data. We've got some advice, we've got some guidance. So we want to do everything that we can to support you to collect that information and to be able to share it effectively. There are some critical bits of information that is needed to make the data good quality enough for a royalty payment to be able to be made. So we're calling this the big five. So composer or arranger, title of the work, title of the book, and music publisher and print publisher. Sometimes it can be a bit tricky to really sort of understand the difference on a piece of music between a music and a print publisher. So if you're not sure about that, I'd really encourage you to either come along on Wednesday to our music and print publishers panel, or watch the recording afterwards, because we'll be really explaining in that session what the differences are between a music publisher and a print publisher, and how when you've got a piece of music you can locate that information, because that can sometimes cause some confusion, understandably. So the big question, what's in it for you? We know, as someone who's worked in music education for the last 24 years, I know how time pressured music teachers are. I also know how passionate and committed music teachers are, with a huge range of activities. I always say that music teachers are some of the busiest teachers in the profession, because of absolutely everything that you're doing around an outside curriculum time. So we do appreciate that asking you to enter data is a time pressure. However, we do need to make sure that schools are complying with the terms of the licence, which is that data should be reported. And we'd love you to join us in being a community of educators who support fairness in print music copyright. This is really what we're aiming towards. It's a national campaign, a national movement. But also, as part of this, and as part of a big thank you, you can get access to a large number of free teaching resources that have been created specifically for Every Copy Counts. So as soon as you put in just one line of data, it unlocks a whole range of resources for you. So just to share a little bit about what you could get at the moment, and this is on top of additional prizes, you can get some fantastic resources created by our teacher studio. So we have a small group of teachers led by Janetta Hurst, who work every year to sort of create and really imagine what resources would be really useful for classrooms. So currently we have some really interesting innovative ideas around creating audio logos, around jazz and improvisation, around how you can start composing from words, from your heart, from patterns in our composing cube, and how you can start composing through playing games. So all of these resources have got editable PowerPoints, they've got video, they've got audio, they've got teacher notes, everything that you could need to be able to use those in the classroom. So by logging data, you automatically get access to those. And the good news is that we have a new teacher studio working with us this year who are creating some new resources for September. So there's going to be loads of stuff for you to be able to access. Our arrangement, which has been launched this week, is available to you. And we also run a free webinar series, which is targeted at students, but which you also might find helpful as well, which is bringing in composers, songwriters, people from the music publishing industry to share a bit about the craft of composing and songwriting, how they got started, practical ideas sometimes it's more workshop in feel. So those go out, they're freely available to your students to either watch live or to access afterwards on the online portal. Our teacher studio leader, Janetta Hurst, runs a teacher exchange network, the first one of which is later on today. And that's just an opportunity for teachers to come together and to share practice. It's very informal. It's just all about trying to open up spaces where people can connect with each other. We've produced various guides around music licensing, around the music publishing industry. We're constantly responding and reacting to what you're telling us. So we're trying to make this process as straightforward and hopefully as enjoyable as possible. And you can also access a digital pack. So you can get a certificate for your school, you can get logos, you can get a poster for your departments. So there's loads and loads of great information and resources and learning materials for you as a really big thank you for submitting data. We're here to help. We are a group of music educators. Everyone in my team has worked with schools for years. We can do a number of things. We can answer your questions. If you're not sure about something, I quite often get teachers saying to me that they're a bit nervous about submitting data in case they're doing something wrong. We're here to reassure you that you're probably not, but we can be that voice. You can come to us first. We can talk to you about that. And hopefully sort of, dispel any fears or concerns that you might have. We can also, if you're having problems getting onto the portal, if you need some advice about what information you need to submit, one of the team can have, we can have a Zoom call with you or a telephone conversation just to help you get started. And we're here to be able to respond to your needs. So do get in contact with us. There's a contact form on our website. We'd love to hear from you. We'd love to hear how you're using printed music, and we'd love to help you and help your school as much as we possibly can. So in terms of what you do next to get involved in Every Copy Counts, carry on doing whatever you're doing in your school in terms of copying and arranging printed music, with the knowledge that it's okay, you can do that. We celebrate that, we celebrate copyright. Go to our website, Every Copy Counts, and sign up to the PMLL portal, and then start to log your data. Like we've said, this week, if you do it by 2 p.m. on Friday, you get the additional excitement of being able to win some prizes, but you can equally do this at any point during the year. Access your free resources, webinars, become part of our community, and then do this again. This is something that we're hoping that you do as an annual part of your teaching practice. As little or as annually as you like. So just a reminder that this is the annual Copycat Challenge Week. We have a week full of brilliant events. We would absolutely love to see you. Myself and all the team offer a warm welcome to all teachers across the country to join us to really celebrate music in schools. We know so important, but also to really try and make sure that we're all working in a fairer system. So please do head to www.everycopycounts.co.uk. Add your data this week, be in for a chance to win some great prizes, and join our community of great teachers who are logging their sheet music regularly. That's all from me today. Really hoping to see some of you later in the Teacher Exchange, and also at some of the other events this week. Thank you for being part of this, and enjoy the rest of your afternoons. Bye.